March 30th, 2017, a Monday. This day's forecast is a small pocket of clouds floating north across the sky. The young girl awakes from her sleep, excitedly, in her very comfy bed. Even barefoot, she rushes on into her bathroom and takes a toothbrush in order to brush her teeth, while twirling around. After finishing, she continues with flossing her teeth, but she ends up slipping on the water that came out of the sink, and sits on the floor a bit. Gosh, that hurt. Sweetie, are you okay? Her father asks from afar. I'm alright, Dad. I know you're probably taking care of it, but remember to clean up the floor before you floss. Or at least sit down. I worry about you, you know. Thanks for the advice, Dad. This is Ano Achino, a young girl raised in a small town, and about to become a high school student tomorrow. Of course, she may not look all that bright, but she tries her hardest to impress her loving parents. Even in the shower, hidden away by a curtain, she tries her best to clean herself. Then, she prepares to sit down for breakfast. This time it's a few bread slices with butter, 5 strawberries, with water, prepared by her dad. Her mom is getting ready to leave for her job to work as a manager of a paint company. The Achino family, well, they're not exactly influential people. Just simple, but affectionate. Thanks, Dad. Why do you have to keep thanking me for? I love you, and it's your favorite. All I want to see is a smile on your face. Ano eats up and enjoys it very much. Alright, Dad, Mom, I'm heading out. Hope your jobs go well. Both of them say that they're sure they will. Ano leaves, and so does her mom, on car. Her dad then takes out his sewing kit and begins taking on requests he's gotten. I'm sure today will be perfect for my cute little sunshine. I mean, even these orders are nice and relaxing. He thinks to himself. Ano goes around the neighborhood, playing with the kids, helping water the farmer's fields, even plowing a little herself. But not too much. Mom doesn't like it when she comes home dirty. She even decides to get groceries by herself, considering she's noticed how the pantry and fridge are looking. Once she gets back from delivering them, she's immediately shocked by the fact that it's somehow refilled, and her dad tearing up comedically from how he didn't know that she'd come with groceries, so proud of her, yet so sad at the same time. She then immediately gets back to studying in advance, apparently in everything she possibly could. However, she ends up getting too worried and mixes everything up that day. It took her the rest of the day to fix everything. However, her parents, even when they got back, didn't help her. After a good night's rest, Ano gets up, strangely bothered by something. When breakfast comes, her parents attempt to ask why. Hey Sagarmathan, what's troubling you? You should be excited for school today. I am excited, Mom, but, well, thing is, I can't remember why. It's strange. Oh, I'm sure the feeling will pass. Her dad says. When we get back home, we'll have a surprise for you. Well, thanks, she said. Then she heads off, straight to school. Blossom High was, well, a nice school, but not outstandingly so. Just a few great teachers, and a bit nicer student body. Well, at least she has her friend Nakamura. She still doesn't know his first name. Oh well, she thinks she'll go inside, maybe play cupcake consumer for a bit. Anything to relieve. Hey, Ano. It's your birthday today, isn't it? March 31st, right? Happy birthday. He seems to be very excited as she walks past him. Heh, not like I didn't know already, you silly. Ano jokingly says to him. So, anything you excited for? I mean, I got nothing, except my brilliance for not studying. Nakamura jokes back to her. Well, this is going to be a surprise to you, but I am excited for classes. Ano ends up saying to him. Anyway, we are both in the same class, I guess. I don't know the seating arrangements though. Was too busy playing video games. Don't worry, with our natural talents, we'll be fine. No, that's not quite accurate, as much as Ano wishes it were. Ano's achievements have all come through hard work and lots of studying. Have it been left to other devices like Nakamura? Well, didn't you want to go to a different school? One closer to the city? Why on earth did you end up here? Let's say it was a punishment from my parents for not working hard enough. Bummer considering I got 90s in everything. They said I needed more social interaction. Maybe you do a little. Oh God, please don't sound like my mom right now, Ano. Nakamura begs to her. Sue, what's it going to take for your sister to help you with studying? A complete guide on astrology actually. She's really into the stuff. Ano hands him the astrology book, clearly having forgotten its existence somehow. Heh, who knows why? Thanks. After school, I'll give this to her in the school library. He nods to her, heading off to some lonely corner somewhere. He didn't even bother to give her a gift. Welp, it's 8, and classes start at 8:35. Time to play some games. What Ano really likes about this one free mobile app are all the pretty colors and sweet sound effects. That, and she feels bad for the thing, always asking her to give it money. She gets to about level 20, before she gets bored of the puzzle game and shuts the game off. It's now 8:15. Well, might as well head to class early. Wait, what the heck was Nakamura talking about being in the same class? Shouldn't there be more classes? She was sure that there'd be at least 4 for the day. It's one of the times Ano thought Nakamura didn't make any sense, not even explaining which one he was in. So, she ends up finding her first classroom, being the French classroom. Good job, Miss Akiyama. You managed to get here early enough to make sure you had enough time for class. She almost praises Ano for getting to class early. But, wait, you aren't that genius, Akiyama. Just that stupid naive child of the Ichinos. Hey miss, it's not exactly nice to be calling people you just met for the first time names. Well, tough shit kid, your father ruined my life. Had a great sewing business going until that little goody two-shoes decided he'd make his knits more affordable. Ano didn't really seem all that fazed though. It's like a light shined down on her. She was determined to help this lady get over this hurdle. Miss. What's your last name? It's Suchao. Yes, Miss Suchao. I think you got the intentions all wrong. I'm sure Dad didn't mean it to be harmful. He was just trying to give everyone clothes for a cheaper price. Shut up. Here, take this book and be quiet. It was Le Petit Prince, a French book past her school level. It was a book about the King and Queen of France in the 1700s. Of course, the prince's name was Le Petit Prince, and the queen's name was La Gracieuse Princess. However, this rage of Cao Cao's alerted the other students, and she was quickly made out to be a laughingstock. No one did apologize to Ano for that. But, when she got eventually called on, mostly to be made fun of by the teacher for not being able to read her assigned day 1 book for being a smartass. Ano read it flawlessly, no trouble either, and could even translate the complicated words like it was easy. Cao Cao couldn't believe her eyes, that a first year already knew the intricacies of third year level material. Her bluff had been called, without Ano even realizing it. She just thought it was part of the curriculum for that year. That teacher then tried to suck up to her afterwards, but Ano just thought she got through to her and convinced her to be nice. But, well, strangely enough, after that class, the only other class was math. That teacher, in comparison, was a pretty chill guy. No homework for anyone, since it was the first day. Then school suddenly got dismissed without any prior warning. Even the math teacher seemed pretty shocked as to why. Ano walks back home, presumably alone. She wondered why on earth, why both Nakamuras were still in there. The town, despite this, is vibrant. A few trucks driving by, parking in various locations. Even a tiny amount of electric vehicles. When Ano finally got home, she went to talk to her dad, who was knitting in the living room, as it happened. Hey sweetie. Did school get called off early today? You're not one to ever miss a permission slip or get in trouble. Yeah, it was super weird. Speaking of which, how was school today? Well, class was great. I helped a lady get over her silly misunderstanding, Miss Suchao I think. Oh, that's Cao Cao? Looks like she's still grumpy as ever. Great work getting her to understand you. Ano smiles proudly, and accepts the headbutt that her dad is going to give her. Ano dear, why don't you go and enjoy some time on the TV? You might be able to catch one of those shows you wanted to record. Wait, you mean it, Dad? Yay. Ano jumps up and down the house as she turns on the TV. Oh. Her favorite magical girl show is going to be on in 15 minutes. But nothing else interesting is on, and watching educational shows at an opportunity like this seems not fulfilling. So, she reads a textbook about the geography of the world instead, leaving where she left off. She remembers the first time she ever found out where her small town was on the map, close to Kyoto, and practically 6 kilometers away from a town with a really large name. Refugio it was. She hopes she didn't get the name wrong. It was when she was 10 and geography became a huge part of Japanese curriculum, so whenever her mom had time, she used this book to help her with everything she knows now. But now she was in the American Geography and Culture section. A lot of their cities have pretty fancy buildings according to the pictures she's seeing. Apparently it also says they spend the most on their military every year. Although that's pretty odd, because she could have sworn the French were people who'd rather befriend other people rather than take over anything, and, being subjects of the French at one point, America would take a lot of influence from them. Why they didn't just spend it on making their country better for their citizens, she's got no clue. However, before she could get to the part about the city names, her favorite show started playing. Twin-Tailed Cutie. She even gets up and dances to the theme song energetically. Her dad just smiles, as she enjoys herself. The real plot of the show? There is none. It's an anime where everything is on an episode-by-episode basis, and has no relevance whatsoever to the plot. The only thing that really changes are the moves he uses, and sometimes she gets a new friend. What makes this show so special to Ano, however, is how Mie never actually tries to kill anyone, rather use her pink magic, which looks really cool and well drawn, to convince people to not fight anymore, or to help get rid of evil in their hearts. They don't like her right away for doing this, but the action is great, and it's super colorful. After watching, even though it was a rerun, she massively perked up. She wanted to be like me when she grew up. Hey there sweetie, you seem to be bouncing quite earthquake in the house. Of course Dad. I'm enjoying myself. When, well, Ano was supposed to come back, her mom arrived instead. They both call her to sit at the table, and being a great daughter, she does. Hey Ano. This might sound out of the blue for you sweetie, but Cao Cao decided to give you something for your hard work. Really Mom? What is it? She pulls out an invitation to a high school all the way in France, Paris at that. Turns out that, if she were to head right there within the next 4 months, she'd be accepted as part of the student body in September. But, Mom, I love it here. I know I don't show it much, but I really like Japanese, I really do. Don't worry, we won't do anything if your father doesn't sign the papers first. I mean, it'd cost quite a bit of money to send you there after all. And even more, if we wanted to see you again. I mean, Tokyo's pretty close to here, but don't worry Dad. I'll think about it and tell ya if I want to accept. Ano goes and tries to continue her day, going to play on an old computer built in 2009, but her mom reminded her that she's got a bit of homework from school anyway. Being Ano, she treads down on the homework, being lost for 20 minutes at a time, but still doing great.